the full plate tonight. Storms will be here temporarily. He'll be coming in, dropping by. But with that being said, we got Germ. I'm back, y'all, just to see what's going on with y'all, see how y'all living. You know, Germ So Noodle will tell this story later. But at the end of the day, we got Guru Jorge in the building. We got the tied through. Category 5 again will be coming through. Fellas, how's it going, man? Everything good?
Everything's good, noodles. Everything's good. That's a we definitely gotta have Storms tell the story because that was hilarious, and we gotta catch up Ty on that too. But now everything's good, man. Happy to talk baseball and go over these stats with these guys, with everybody
And
here.
and the tied through himself is in. He is present. He is in the building. Feller, how are you doing, sir?
From the Valley of the Sun, where it's hot, 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 fuego. You got the city on fire for a dope basketball postseason, but all quiet on the baseball front because the Diamondbacks are terrible. But anyway, we living good. The time through. I'm here, always ready to serve up hot takes and hot plates on the dish, and I'm hungry, man. Literally. But anyway, I'm just happy Guru, is gonna be here. I got Storms, coming in, and I'm waiting to hear what's the story behind this oodles of noodles guy over here.
So, with that being said, today we're gonna do something interesting. We're just gonna do something real light, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna talk about, for the most part, we're gonna talk about some of the home run leaders, some of the leaders across the majors, with a lot of the big statistics and things like that. As we are in a situation right now where, to be honest, to cover some of these guys, let's give some predictions. Let's have some fun with this. But it's some guys that we're gonna highlight here today. That we're gonna highlight some things that are pretty insane because it's a lot of good baseball being played, but people don't know it. So with that being said, let's start at the top. Let's start with the long ball. The long ball, who currently are the top 5 in the majors in home runs. Jorge, take it away.
So we already know who's on top. The man that everybody's talking about out there in LA. And no, he's not wearing blue. He's wearing red. Otani. The man, he looks balanced at the plate. He can hit the inside pitch, outside corner. Don't matter where you put it. He's going to hit it out. He got 28 home runs. Right now, that's your leader for MVP. But at number 2, we got somebody that's quietly having an MVP season too, as well. And he has 26 home runs, which is Vladimir Guerrero Jr. And I think I shared this with us here in the chat. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. hit his 200th and 50th or whatever home run it was, the same date or the same game as his pops, meaning the same number of games played, which is insane stat, by the way, and that was wild that they did that. At number 3, or tied for second, whatever you want to say, we have another junior, Fernando Tatis Jr. with 26. And at number 4, we have a surprise, which I never thought he would be on this list, but with his hot streak of hitting 14 home runs in like 18 games, we got Kyle Schwarber, the left fielder for the Washington Nationals, at 25. And at number 5, we got one of the best players in the game right now, and I keep saying it over and over again. He's probably going to go down as one of the best to do it. Ronald Acuna at 22 home runs. I got a quick question for you, Ty. Out of these 5, who do you think is going to end up at the top and why?
So, Otani's the real deal, but I'm going with the man who's actually stunting better than his daddy. I'm going with Vladimir Guerrero Jr. I mean, how he, is approaching the plate and, conducting himself, and how he's just looking, for the ball in the right spot, taking his good cuts. I just feel he's the man to do it. Like, Otani, of course, as a pitcher has, he knows what he's looking for. And I have seen him take some deep cuts as far as all over the plate. But Vlad is, I think a little bit more disciplined than Otani. And this is his thing. This is his MO. When you have someone as far as his pedigree and his family that can, give you tips and hints as far as, getting the best at bat you can. And when you're in a position where you want to be the leader and be the man for your team at this ripe age of 22, he's ready. And he's showing that he's ready. I mean, look at the batting average to go along with those home runs. So he's swinging for the fences, but he's swinging and he's not missing at all. So that's my guy for the long ball crown. But there's two other guys right there that could, give him a run for his money.
Question: how many games has Tatis Jr. played?
Tatis Jr. has played 63 games. So out of that list, he's the one that's played the least amount of games. Guerrero has played 78. So he's played 15 more games, but they're tied with 26 home runs.
Give me Tatis Jr. as the home run leader for the year. I think at the end of the day, if this is what we getting out of these type of game, I mean, you said 63 games.
Yeah.
That's almost as every 2.5 games he's gonna hit a home run.
Yeah, about that. Yeah.
So if that's where we're at, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Every 2.5 games we're gonna be hitting a home run. I think that's the guy. Don't get me wrong. The other junior, Mr. Guerrero Jr. himself, is playing out of his mind too, because he's on a couple other lists here that's pretty remarkable, incredible. He's in that Miggy Cabrera type of lane right now, and with the way he's doing this thing right now. So I'm gonna have to give him some credit for that. So I'm gonna pick Tatis Jr. only because of the amount of games. I wouldn't be mad at Vlad or Ohtani, but I think Tatis may be one of those players that we're going to look at the end of this season and start having to evaluate where he ranks with the rest of these guys. And shout out to Acuna for being number 5 at 23. We're talking about guys who are traditionally at the top of a lineup. So if you're getting 20, 25 plus home runs, 30 home runs from the top of your lineup, that's insane. That's stupid. That's crazy. So Jorge, I'm gonna let you pick, and then I'll let you go to the next list.
I'm gonna stick with Ohtani, man. I'm gonna go. He's MVP, and he winds up being the home run leader as well. And I just think he's too balanced, man. He at the plate, you can see that he knows what he's doing, and it'll take him 3 years to do what he's doing now in the league. But he's the MVP for a reason. I mean, we're going to keep talking about him because he also is in another category that we're going to talk about. And I misspoke about Vlad and Vlad Jr. They hit 50 home runs in 258 games. So both of them hit their 50th home run in a 258th career game, which is crazy, for Pops and Jr. to do it in the same amount of games.
Illuminati.
Right? They paid that dude. So
let me address Trav real quick in the comments.
Yeah.
Shouts out to Ham. Shouts out to Trav. Shouts out to Big Shot Ron. Let me just say this: Tatis is the best offensive shortstop in baseball, for sure. He's still not the best defensive one because we know who that is already. Go ahead.
Let me cut in real quick though, Jim, pass that over, because I want to bring up something that I think could be a difference maker to look out over the course of a long season. Vlad is not, relied upon for his base running. So over the course of the long season, I wonder if it will take its toll as far as the pop in their bat for both Tatis and Ohtani, as of course Ohtani does it all. And then Tatis is relied upon a lot for his base running ability too. So I wonder if they'll get gassed. That's just a thought.
I mean,
I'm interested to see that. That's fair.
Yeah, we haven't even hit the dog days of summer yet. It's hot out there, so we, more heat, people slow down. So let's head over to RBIs. I want to give you guys the top 5 in RBIs, so you guys see. We just named some of the players in the top 5 in home runs, and I want you guys out there to see what home run equates to as far as RBIs. So at number 1, we have Guerrero Jr. at 66. So you see, he's top 3 home runs. He's also the leader in RBIs in the major leagues. Then we got Rafael Devers, which is the third baseman for the Boston Red Sox. He's at 64 RBIs. Look, everybody always sleeps on Devers. He's young and he's always in the league, whether it's RBIs and average, and he's always up there, and he's doing it again this year. And it's a big reason why Boston's having the year they're having. And then at number 3, we have Ohtani again, 63 RBIs. He's only 3 RBIs under Guerrero for the lead, and he's played 3 games less. And then, shots out. I didn't know this until I looked this list up. Number 4 is David Duval. He's a right fielder from Miami. He's at 56 RBIs. But if you're looking at that list, there's a big drop off from 63 to 56. I mean, that's 7 RBIs, but still, 7 RBIs can be a lot in baseball, from 63 to 56 from Ohtani to Duval. And then that tied for number 4, which let's say number 5 is Tatis with 56 RBIs. And he's done that in 63 games. So he's 7 RBIs away from
RBI a game.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Like this isn't PlayStation we're playing, man. This is the Major League. So somebody to say that's insane. Like that just doesn't make any sense.
Look, I don't know what to say. I just, dude, what?
We've been saying it, Jerm. We've been saying it.
I don't understand. Like, I don't. Like, what are you like? 26 home runs, 56 RBIs. We're only on RBIs and home runs, and it's already like, wow, like it's already a huge shocker. But okay. I'm just gonna pick my guy, and we're gonna move on. I think Guerrero Jr. will finish with the top RBI spot. I think he's hitting in the perfect lineup to do it. Ohtani is probably not going to see some of the same pitching coming up moving forward. And then we also are going to have the Trout addition back into the lineup, which is going to be another big boost. So he may become a more of a threat once Trout comes back. But and Tatis, look at where he's hitting in the lineup. Mm-hmm. He's hitting for one of the first 2 spots of the lineup. Mm-hmm. So it's like 56 RBIs. That's stupid. But if there's anybody who will challenge him, it may be him. But give me Guerrero Jr. because he's hitting in the perfect spot and the perfect lineup for him to continue to sustain the success.
Yeah, watch it, Jeremy. You're getting close to Triple Crown talk. Just saying.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And just to let you guys know out there, we just named 2 categories, and we already have 3 players in those 2 categories, which is Guerrero Jr., Ohtani, and Tatis Jr. So that's right there. You're already seeing that these 3 should be considered for MVP talk, and in their leagues. And as far as I go, I'm gonna take Devers. Give me Devers in Boston. I think he gets. I think he ends with over 100 and. Give me over 115 RBIs. I think that's what he's gonna end with.
That's his career high right there is 115. He did it in 2000.
I think
17. Yeah.
One of those years. I think he's gonna get. I think he's either gonna match or he's gonna go over 115. I'll give it to him.
Which on that? Who you got, Ty?
I'm gonna stick with possible Mr. Triple Crown threat. Like I said, stunting better than his daddy. So I'm gonna stick with my guy.
So Guerrero Jr., man, dude, this is crazy. What he's doing this year is this is uncharted territory, bro. This is all-time great level hitting we're talking about here. Mm-hmm. So next we're gonna go to hits.
Yeah, that's exactly what I went to. Just because I want you guys to see how the list changes from home runs, RBIs to hits. So in hits, at number 1, we got Nick Castellanos. We got 102 hits. He plays right field for Cincinnati. And then second, we have Adam Frazier, second baseman for Pittsburgh at 100 even. Then tied for second. Third, we have Trey Turner with 100. He plays shortstop for the Washington Nationals. And then at number 4, we have Cedric Mullins. He plays center field for Baltimore. He's at 99. And then number 5, here's his name again, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. at 96 hits. So fellas, and people out there listening, not only is he hitting home runs, not only is he driving people in, He's getting the hits no matter what or how they come. And you guys are going to continue to see his name. And, you know, that's crazy. He's only 6 hits behind the leader at 102, and he got 96. I mean, yeah, he's played 4 games more, but to be doing it with home runs and power, and then also with hits, he's the only one on this list out of the other categories we just named.
Yeah, for me, hits don't really matter as much, but for the most part, let's go. I think this list is going to pretty much stay the same. We may have a guy jump up here and there, but I think this list is going to pretty much stay the same.
You think it's going to stay exactly the same what it is 1 through 5?
Yeah, I don't think Vlad goes on a tear to the point where he goes up to be the if he has the most hits and he's top 3 in home runs and then he's top 3 in RBIs, bro. Like, just do we need to shape the MVP trophy after him for the year? Do they do a body sculpture thing? That's crazy, dog. That's stupid. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly, I'm gonna say it. Even though he's in my division, I think Trey Turner takes it. You know, Trey Turner doesn't get his due as shortstop. He's a great player all around, 5'2" player, and like Dennis just said in the chat and on YouTube, he hit for the cycle today and on his birthday. You know, so a happy birthday to him. And I think he's gonna do it. I think he's gonna be the hit winner this year. He's gonna lead the league. What do you think, Ty?
I'm going to Central. I'm staying my butt in Central. Man, Nick is just on another level with the hits, and how him and Jesse Winker are just kind of like any given night rolling off of each other is just scary to me, because Jesse Winker is a guy who's in the top 10, and he's just that man and then that consistent as far as looking at how many at bats he's had and how many hits he's producing and his batting average. I don't see it stopping. He's in his groove, and he's in his element. So if anybody can figure him out and either, figure out how they can stop him from getting, so many at bats, or that's about it, or just gonna start walking the guy. I mean, because he doesn't even really get walked. So he's going to get those hits. He's going to, get, multiple hit games, 3, your 4s. It's going to happen. I mean, look at his, I think his last game against the Phillies, he put up 7 RBIs and 3 hits at 5 at bats. So that's crazy. So that's my guy right there. I'm going to stick with him out in Central.
Do we know when Trout is coming back?
He was on the 60-day IL. And I think he went on that about a month ago. So maybe in about a month or 3 weeks, I would say.
Okay.
So after the All-Star break.
Okay. Next category
is average. So pay attention to this. He leads the league in hits, and he also leads the league in average. Nick Castellanos. 346 average. So we always talk about this on the show when we talk hitting. 1 out of 3, you're 1 for 3, you're a Hall of Famer. He's better than 1 for 3 right now at the moment this year. So he's at 346. Michael Brantley is at 343. So he's only 3 points behind him. But I want to point out Brantley a little bit, because Brantley is also the type of person that doesn't strike out a lot. He hits 3 for average all the time, which is right now he's at 343. You guys, it's crazy how many strikeouts he has. He only has 29 strikeouts his entire year. 29. He's played in 61 games. That means he strikes out once every
2-3 games. And
at third, you're gonna get tired of hearing his name, but he's on this list too. Vlad Guerrero Jr., 340. He's only 6 points behind the league lead for average. And he is also top 3 in home runs. But look how many times he's striking out. He's only striked out 59 times this year. So that shows you that he's not striking out a lot. Number 4, we have Bogarts, the shortstop in Boston, and he's hitting 331. And then rounding out the 5, we have Gurriel, the first baseman in Houston. He's hitting 331. He's another person that's striking out. That hasn't striking out a lot. He's only striking out 28 times, and he's been to the plate 269 times.
So we got 2 Stros in there.
Yeah, 2 Stros.
2 Stros.
And usually the one that you see on the list isn't on there.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. So here, give me my guy Michael Brantley from the Stros to finish with the best average this year. I'm gonna pick my Stros on biasness this year.
Who you got, Ty?
Man, so it's a tough one because I want to say Nick, but it would not surprise me with just how great he's been if Brantley, keeps it, like if he keeps it going. Because like Nick's having a career year. For the most of his career, he's been hovering around the 280, 270. I think there's like one or two seasons where he's hit 290. You have Brantley, who's a career 300 guy, like pretty much. So safe bet says stick with the guy who's been doing it for the longest, and that's Michael Brantley, who is a savvy veteran at the age of 34. So it could be Brantley, and Jerm, isn't wrong with that. As much as I hate to say it, but I said it. I'll give the man his due.
Something, and I'm gonna say this too. If Guerrero Jr. stays in the top 3, again, do you want a sculpture, sir, of the MVP trophy with your face and name and likeness on this bad boy? Because you can't do all of that. The only way he doesn't win, like the only way in this situation you don't give him MVP, for me, is if we're in a situation where Ohtani ends up winning like 15 games and ends up being a 300 hitter with 50 home runs.
Yeah, that's especially for what he's doing right now. There's no way.
Like if Ohtani hits 22 more home runs and wins, we're saying 12 games. Let's just say Ohtani wins 12 total games as a pitcher,
and he keeps his ERA at like 2.8. Let's say
he can do 3 and still get MVP.
Yeah,
he can do about 3. He can go about 340 and still be able to win it, because at 340 with the way he's hitting, does it matter?
Yeah, he covers that. He covers that.
That's crazy, man.
Listen, man. What Vlad's doing right now is an all-time year. Even though it's just the first half, it's just stupid what he's doing. It doesn't make any sense. It's a cheat code, basically. And
it is.
Yeah. I mean, it's insane. And if he winds up winning the batting title, if he winds up being, let's say, second in home runs, and he winds up being like second in hits, and then he doesn't strike out that much. Well, strikeouts doesn't even matter because they don't even take that into account. He's going to win MVP. Ohtani's going to have to, like you said, win 12, 13 games, 2.8, 2.9 ERA, and hit like 50 home runs. That's the only way you take it away from Guerrero. And
as of right now.
And even if you take it away from Guerrero, it's pretty tough to even take it away from him. You know what I mean? It's just one of those years.
And I wouldn't be mad at co-MVPs.
I wouldn't be mad at it. I said bring it on, but I will say this, just to give you some perspective as far as what Vlad is doing. If you compare it to what Miggy did back in 2012, Miggy finished at 330, 44 home runs, and 139 RBIs. You look where Vlad is at right now, halfway through the season, and he's
on pace to be right where that is.
Yep.
He's on pace to be better than that.
He's on pace. He's on pace he was on pace right now currently for 132 RBIs for one about 132, 130 RBIs, about 50 homers, and about a 340. That's 340 right there where he is now. Let's just say he keeps it steady there, 340, and that's going to be about 155 to 200 hits.
Ridiculous.
What?
Ridiculous. Crunch them numbers for all the mathematicians out there. I know you salivating right now.
I mean,
crunch those numbers.
So think about it like this: we play 162 games, right? We're talking about a dude hitting 50 home runs in those games. We're talking about a dude also having 130 RBIs in 162 games, and then we're talking about batting 340. That means every game he's going to get a hit, or he's a threat to get at least one hit.
But listen, we're not even halfway through the year. He's still got like 6 games left, I think.
Yep.
So he can get like 4 or 5 other RBIs and finish with like 70 plus RBIs halfway in the year. So meaning he has a chance potentially, if he continues hot or gets even hotter, he can reach 150 RBIs.
Trav, man, I understand, man, but I can't. If both of these dudes have historic years like this, like when is the last time a pitcher won 12 games, had 50 homers in a season?
I don't think.
Babe Ruth.
Yeah.
Maybe Babe Ruth. Maybe
you can't. I can't discredit him and then turn around and be like, "What is?" And so this is. See, I'm glad I don't have to make these decisions. I'm like, listen, y'all just gonna have to split it. I can't do this.
Yeah. For real.
Hey, I will. I'm cool with co-MVPs. Just do the right thing and just say co-MVPs. There.
So let's go. So let's go to defense, y'all. Let's go to the defense.
Give me pitching.
Pitchers. Who has the most wins so far?
So the pitcher for the Cleveland Indians. I'm sorry if I say his last name wrong. Aaron Savale. He has 10 wins and only 2 losses in 15 games. So that means that out of his 15 games that he's appeared on, in 12 of them, he has a decision. So 3 of them went to the bullpen, and I guess they lost or won, whatever. But that's a hell of a record, man. And right now, we talked before we even got on the air. Shane Bieber's hurt. Imagine if Bieber was in here and he wasn't hurt. You know, they'd probably make a run for first place. You know, they're in second in that division. So I mean, and we've always talked about it. They've had pitching, but what's probably going to wind up happening? Germ?
They're gonna trade.
Whether it's this year or next, they're going to trade him.
Germ knows. Germ knows.
Germ knows.
Oh god.
All too well.
So tied at first. So let's say number 2 is Kyle Hendricks.
He's been on fire.
Yeah, he is, man. He's 10-4 in 16 appearances, and then we got that pitcher, the lefty out in Dodger world, Kershaw. He's 9-7 in 17 appearances, and then right behind him at 4 is 9-3 Urias with 9-3, and then we have Chris Bassett in Oakland at 8-2 at 17 appearances.
Okay.
Listen, those top 5, 3 of them, you don't really expect them to be there, to be honest.
Yep.
You got Savale at number 1. You got Urias over there in Dodger world, and you got Chris Bassett in Oakland. You would not expect them to be there. And honestly, I don't even know who's going to finish with the most wins in the league. I don't even know who to pick from this list. You know, I can easily say Kershaw, but
Give me Bauer.
Huh?
Give me Bauer.
And you know what? That's a good pick because Bauer's 8-5. He's 6th. So I mean, let's say 5th type. You know, 6th type of 5th. He's 8-5. So
give me Bauer.
Still make that run.
Give me Bauer just because Bauer has it all going right now. He's in that mental. He's in that matrix right now. He's in his matrix, and you can kind of start to see the difference. Again, another Indians pitcher that just Give me Bauer, because with that lineup that they have with the Dodgers, he can easily win even a game that he may give up 2 or 3 runs. Ty,
right.
I'm gonna actually come to you.
All right, so I'm gonna go out of left field a little bit, but you know me, I like to play it safe. While I would like to say Bauer, I think Bauer's career high is like 17. I'm gonna go with the man who's done it before, as far as produce some wins and gets up there, and who's not far behind. I'm gonna say Garrett Cole. Garrett Cole's at 8 right now. I think he could. He's 8-4 to be exact, and I think he could, get high teens still. So it's been a while that he's played a full season like last year, and it was the shortened season, but before that he was a 20-game winner with Houston, so that got him paid. So I'm gonna go with Garrett Cole.
Jorge, who do you think?
I'm gonna go way down the list. I'm gonna go with number 15 on the list, and he has 7 wins right now, and I'm picking them because of the team he's on, and they're gonna put up runs just like LA. Give me Yu Darvish. Yu Darvish is 7-2 right now, and I think he'll wind up winning probably like, give me 15, 16 wins and leading the league.
Now,
Okay.
caveat. I got a caveat here. I got to say this because I got to throw my shade at Germ because he knows what time it is. If Zach Greinke ends up producing the most wins, I say wins don't matter and they never matter. I'm gonna just say that. I don't care that he's 8-2. It's a disrespectful 8-2. It's because his team is hitting so well. So Zach Greinke, if you listen to the show, if you watch the show, sorry, not sorry. Don't you dare get close to 20 wins or high teens. You stay in your 15, 14 lane, and we're good. I said my piece.
All right. Well, well, now that we all picked that, all right. So you want to do? Let's do ERA.
Well, ERA goes number 1, the best pitcher on the planet, DeGrom. He has a .69 ERAs in 13 games started. He's allowing less than 1 run in 13 games. That's, I don't even know how to put that into words. That doesn't even make any sense. But next we have Kevin. Help me out with his last name there, Ty. Gausman? Kevin Gausman?
I said Gausman. Yeah, Gausman. Yeah.
Gausman. I'm bad with bad names. Anyway, he's 8-2, and he has a 1.68 ERA. And this is why San Francisco has been really well, because of their pitching. And next would be Brandon Woodruff in Milwaukee. He's at 187 in 16 starts. And then at number 4, we have Kyle Gibson in Texas. He's at an even 2. Really? And he's on Texas? That's kind of strange.
Hasn't taken a loss either. So
yeah, he's 6-0. It's real good. And then we have always on this list, Scherzer, 7
Mad Max,
2.14 ERA. I'll let you guys go, and then I'll speak my piece on this.
We know. But Jerem, go ahead, take it away. Take it away.
I mean, I'm just gonna say that DeGrom finishes with 1.5 or something. He finishes under 1.5 is my prediction.
I support that. No one's even close to getting in DeGrom's lane. And then you can't even make the argument that he should change his first name to Carl because his win's low. But no, I mean he's winning games, so he finally has a slither of run support. Still needs some more, but he's just on another planet. That's just who he is as a pitcher and has been. Just now, he actually may win over 15 games finally, which he should have been doing his whole career. But like I said, he's Jacob deGrom now. He's not Carl Winslow, so give him his flowers. Jorge, take it away and take your victory lap because I know you want to.
The lowest single season ERA in league history was done by a pitcher named Tim Keefe. He led the league in ERA with .86 with 105 innings pitched in 1880. 1880. And look what the DeGrom is doing. He's at .69 in 2021. So I think he ends up right now. He winds up winning the Cy Young with this. There's no way you can't give it to him unless he's injured, which he has been, and he's pitching through it. But I don't think he's going to keep it as though. I think he's probably going to go to like 0.7, 0.79 or 0.8, whatever. But I think he's going to beat that. He's just been in another world this year. Just crazy what he's doing.
Well, I ain't got much to say on that. So the last one, let's do strikeouts. Since we did home runs, let's do strikeouts.
All right. So topping out on the top of this list, we got Bauer. We know where he plays. He has 137 strikeouts. This is crazy to me. Shane Bieber, he hasn't pitched in about 3 weeks. And he has 130 strikeouts in 17 fewer innings than Bauer, and he's only behind him by 7 strikeouts. And he hasn't pitched in 3 weeks. And then at number 2 is Zach Wheeler, pitcher for the Philadelphia Phillies at 130 strikeouts. And he's pitched 16 more innings than Bieber, and he's tied with him right now. At number 4 is Garrett Cole at 129. And number 5, yet again, surprised to see him on here, we got Kershaw, 124. What do you guys think? What you guys
Bieber is going to end up leading the league, bro. Probably with over 260 strikeouts. It's going to be something stupid. What? Him and Tatis right now are 2 players that you have to start asking this question. Where do they rank with the rest of the league at their respective positions? Because Bieber's issue is his team is bad.
Yeah.
Tatis' issue is his team is not as good, or whatever the case is. So Bieber has to go out there and pitch like that. If you are any team out there, listen to what I'm saying to y'all. If y'all got some peanuts and some Cracker Jacks, and y'all don't care if y'all ever get back, I want y'all to call Cleveland and say, what do y'all want for Shane Bieber? I got peanuts and Cracker Jacks and a couple other players for y'all. Get him out of there. Let him play meaningful baseball somewhere. Please.
Hey, that's my line, okay? That's my
Please.
That is trademarked by Time Through Enterprises.
Go ahead, bro. It's on you.
So, I mean, it's obvious. Like, you go with the guy who's up there, who hasn't and is nowhere near close the innings pitched. I mean, you would be crazy to not say anybody else but Bieber. To have a strikeout count that high and not even in the top 20 of innings pitched, where everybody else who's up there is like in the top 10, it's nuts. I mean, seriously, 130 strikeouts, and he hasn't even gotten to like plus 95 innings pitched. Like, that's insane. That is insane. So that means you're consistent. That means batters don't know what to do with you. That just means you have it going. That means you're in your bag. That means maybe you figured out a way to get through, get the extra pine tar, extra substances somewhere that they'll never find it. I don't know. I'm just kidding. But I mean, Shane Bieber was that dude in the Triple Crown winner last year for a reason. Even though it was a shortened season, he was that dude. So I'm not going to bet against him. If you want to, take that bet. Who's going to step up?
I'll bet against you. And I'll tell you who's going to win it. DeGrom.
He could.
He's only pitched 78 innings, and he has 122 strikeouts. So that means he's pitched 12 innings less, and he only has 8 less strikeouts than Shane Bieber.
So if you pick DeGrom and I pick, okay, so here's what we're gonna do. If DeGrom or Bieber are playing the same amount of innings as everybody else, get trash.
Which they are.
I mean, I just look. I mean, yo, bro, I don't know, man. Bieber is striking out, but and this is what's funny about this. We're talking about both of these dudes, and they're in two different leagues, respectively. So they could end up being in a situation where they could both lead their respective leagues.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be like, huh? And less innings than everybody else. Y'all got any more innings?
They don't need them.
Hey, Trav, real quick. Ain't nobody asked you about that, bro. You don't have to put my business out there.
Hey, and he told me quit trying to make these underhand statements about Tatis. He's the best offensive shortstop in baseball. He's just not the best defensive. He ain't the total package like that. He ain't that dude like that. He ain't that dude like that on defense. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But okay, I have to say this about DeGrom because I correct me if I'm wrong, Jorge, because I know you watch more Mets games than me. But wasn't there a game against the Cubs where he only pitched for like 3 innings and had like 8 Ks?
Yes.
Yep.
He pitched 3 innings. He had 8 Ks. He went out because of a sore shoulder, and then the game previous to that, I think he pitched 6 innings and he had 10 Ks. I want to say something like that, and he went out because of side soreness. So he's been dealing with injuries, and he's doing this. Like it doesn't make any sense. Like I said.
That's still crazy. You know what? I blame, he's going to do it. You know why? Because if he pitches against Javier Baez as many times as he does this season, there you go.
Blame it all on Baez.
Yo, hey man, what kind of shade is we throwing? Oh.
Hey, Eddie Banks, Ejectocito, cuz.
Man.
That's your league leader of strikeouts right there.
Oh man. Oh, hey, Dennis just said, "Come on, bro." He said, "Come on, Ty. Come on." I know, man. He come on, man. He don't know how to act, man. That's why I don't take him nowhere.
So disrespectful. So disrespectful.
So with everything we got there, and everything going on right there, my only question to everybody is going to be, with all of the numbers that we put together, with all of the people that we picked today, is there any player besides Vladimir Guerrero that stands out on these lists that we think needs any more camera time, or are we good?
I mean, you have to go by league, but I mean, definitely in the National League, you have to give Acuna his props. As far as for MVP race, if the Braves actually can make a wild card for their life right now, so he would definitely be in the conversation. But pretty much, the AL has it down packed as far as who's the consensus MVP guy. And the only reason why you could literally pick Ohtani over Guerrero is because Ohtani's doing it all, and he's stealing bases too. He literally does every damn thing except for sell concessions. But there's nobody in the NL other than those 2 guys, Tatis and Acuna, that I would recommend. And Acuna just doesn't have the wins right now as far as his team backing up what he's doing as a player individually. And then there's DeGrom, of course. He could be, he could be Cy Young MVP. And I wouldn't have a problem with it.
Yeah, he very well can be. I mean, it's going to be tough for him to do it, especially because of what Tatis and Acuna is doing, or what they have done. But he can.
If he finishes with an ERA of under 1 or around 1 or 1.5 or something like that, and then he continues to swing the bat when he's in the lineup, he'll be there. It'll be hard for him to not finish in the top 3 for MVP in the NL.
Could we see DeGrom being a Triple Crown winner?
Possibly, yes.
maybe, but it's possibly, yeah. I mean, he's at 7 wins. Yeah, he could possibly do it. Sure, he just has. Well, the Mets have to help him out with run support, but
I mean, him and Bieber got the same problem.
yeah.
So if it all my teams out there, if you got a Peanuts and Cracker Jacks, call the Mets and ask for Jacob DeGrom too, just in case.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. So just to hit on what you said, DeGrom, the teams that face him, his average is they're averaging 115 against him. Their average, and his batting averages are like 437, which is crazy.
Well, with that being said, we have pretty much, we're gonna wrap it up here now. Before some final thoughts here, fellas. So I'll wrap my final thought up with my scouting report. So my scouting report, back in the day when I used to play baseball, y'all, back eons ago, I used to play right field, left field, stuff like that. So all I know is that somebody hit, they got some great contact, and they got a nice little line drive hit, that was rolling in the grass, and things like that. And it was a single. I guess the scouting report on your boy was attack that dude in right field because his arm is a noodle. So I see the guy out the corner of my eye, and I see my cutoff guy, and I just remember overthrowing the cutoff guy to second base and getting him out. So to all those dudes out there with them scouting reports when Jern was 10 years old, don't do that no more, man. I'm that dude like that. I'm that dude like that. You know what I'm saying? But this arm is not a noodle. You know what I'm talking about? I'm that dude in right field. Don't do that no more. Yeah. Pat yourself on the arm. Go ahead, Chai. Final thoughts.
Final thoughts is, as a 10-year-old, he found a way to use steroids to not, No, I'm kidding. For one game only. Well, show me the substances. I'm sorry, Jay.
Only roids.
All jokes aside. I'm interested to see if there's going to be, any moves that teams are going to make for this trade deadline coming up. So I want to see who wants to chase, the World Series, who wants to, gamble and risk it all. That's what I want to know. Who's ready to risk it all? And who wants to separate themselves from the pack? I mean, it's competitive out there. I wonder if, the Brewers are legitimately going to do that in the Central. These races are going to be tight for the division crown, and the wild card is going to be even crazier. But let's let the summer pass. I'm loving what I'm seeing from week to week from these clubs, and play ball, man. That's what I'm here for. And bring on those dog days of summer. Bring on the heat. I can take it. Guru, take us out.
I want to say congratulations to Mississippi State. They captured their first ever national title by winning the College World Series tonight over the heavy favorite Vanderbilt. And, that's pretty big. Congratulations to them. And then secondly, I want to see if, what we just talked about comes to fruition. If it's who wants it being on top in hits, RBIs, home runs. It's going to be fun. Let's see who winds up top.
All right. And with that being said, we appreciate everybody for tuning in. Shouts out to the crew. Shouts out to everybody who was in the comments. Most importantly, man, shouts out to you as the viewer. This is The Dish Scene, Twitter, The Dish Scene, Instagram. Make sure you also go to the Dish group on Facebook, as well as that. Make sure you also The Scene. Make sure you're locked in, logged in, subscribed, everything and then some. We are the best in the business, best cover men since Dion, and we are here to stay. Germ So True, Tied Through, Jorge signing out. The scene, baby.
Prime time.